Last week, a Doge staffer, a 19-year-old Doge staffer who calls himself Big Balls, was beat up in DC. Tiniest violin. He said that it was like a group of 10 hooligans. It turns out it was like a couple of 15-year-old kids. Not like a couple of 15-year-old kids. It was a couple of 15-year-old kids, including a 15-year-old girl. And since then, Trump has been saying that he's going to federalize DC. No, he's not. DC is under federal rule already. The Home Act of 1973 gives Congress the ability to kind of govern DC. But also gave them like their own mayor and city council. In order to do anything other than command the law enforcement he already has command over in DC, Congress would need to do something about the Home Rule Act. What he can do is send in the National Guard. The DC National Guard is under the jurisdiction of the federal government. And that is what he has done, or is doing right now. He had a press conference a few minutes ago and is sending in, he's at 800 National Guard troops. But over the weekend, he had already started sending in federal agents to DC, like the FBI and the ATF. Trump says that this is in response to violent crime spiking in DC. That is not fact. DC, like most big cities, had a spike in violent crime and property crime during COVID, but their crime rate has fallen to below pre-pandemic levels. So that's just made up. My read on it is that he got mad that a member of his administration got beat up by a girl and is now making it everyone in DC's problem. But if he wants to do anything beyond what he has said he's going to do today, he's going to need congressional involvement, and that will need to overcome the filibuster in the Senate. But since he is the DC National Guard Commander-in-Chief, this is actually less illegal than what he did in LA. And that case is actually going to be heard by a judge, I think today, the LA case. So I would expect, similar to LA, for this to be a lot of noise over functionally nothing. The National Guard in LA was brought in to deal with the riots, and that fizzled out, and the National Guard is being brought into DC to deal with big balls. There's a lot of social media panic about like martial law. That's still not what martial law means. I think the big takeaway here is that we are noticing a pattern with Trump, that when there's something he really, really wants people to stop talking about, he calls up the National Guard to some city. So in LA, it was how horrible the immigration raids were going. And now in DC, it's the fact that he's in the Epstein files and the economy is crumbling. Spending money to have the military stand around doing nothing for a week or two isn't going to fix that.